So then when we look more clearly at the plantar fascia, I'm actually going to come over to this foot in a moment. I'm going to get rid of the connective tissue. I'm going to put on an artery. Well, I was thinking I might as well, there we go, I'll demonstrate now. So you see this big artery right here? Well, that big artery goes to the plantar fascia. That big artery goes right underneath the arch of the foot. So as we wear shoes with a high arch, we not only atrophy the intrinsic muscles in tibialis posterior, in addition, we compress upon the primary artery that's giving blood supply to the plantar fascia. So we kill it. We kill it. It's called plantar necrosis. As we decrease blood supply to the plantar fascia, it just does not heal because we're wearing high arch shoes, which compresses upon the artery, which no longer allows blood supply to the bottom of the foot. So you're understanding the mechanism now, plantar fasciitis, and who knows what's happening. So it's characterized by sharp pain on the bottom of the foot. I'll get that name to you after stage. It's just too slow right now. So it's characterized by sharp pain on the bottom of the foot. It's going to be worse in the morning. We understand the mechanism. The plantar fascia is much better conceptualized as an extension of the plantar flexor tendon or the Achilles tendon. And when we think that through, we can see how we have a contribution of tight calf muscles, as well as a fallen arch, as well as a necrotic plantar fascia. So I take so much time discussing the pathomechanism behind this because now I don't really need to, nor does anybody else need to teach you how to treat this. I hope you're beginning to appreciate the more you understand injury, the more you understand physiology, the easier this stuff is to treat. So how would you treat it? Basics. I don't need specific techniques. Just give me the most basic thing you would do. Release the calf, strengthen the ankle. Perfect. Give me some home care. Mm-hmm. Good. Yep, so some strengthening. Yeah, good. Stretch out the gastroc, good. And potentially the most important, change your footwear. Coach them through the process of changing their footwear. And just so you know what the process is, it's slow. If you plan on changing your footwear to a flat shoe without arches, that transition should take you about a year. I remember working at Mountain Equipment Co-op, and it was right at the height of when barefoot shoes started to become popular. So we had droves of people coming in buying these barefoot shoes, and usually they would return them within 2 to 3 weeks because they had crippling foot and Achilles pain. Because they buy these brand new shoes, think they're amazing, go for a run and tear their gastroc. Truly. So it's slow, it's gradual. Remember, these muscles are atrophied. It takes a long time to build them up. So gradually transition to a flat foot shoe. Right? Mm-hmm. You make it feel better temporarily, yeah, because you're giving more artificial support. But the question is, how often does it fix plantar fasciitis? Makes it worse. Yeah. And oddly enough, it's a controversial topic to have orthopedic support, high arches in your shoe or not, have a high heel drop or not. It's a controversial topic, and I'm firmly on the side of it's bad news. It's very bad news. We lived a long time through our evolution having no artificial support. And in fact, a key moment in our evolutionary history was when our foot changed. when we developed this thing called the windlass mechanism, which is a high arch foot and the plantar fascia. That changed everything, literally everything. Before that, we were isolated to a very small region of Africa. After that evolutionary change, we spread to the rest of the world. Our ability to walk with efficiency on 2 feet due to our high arch and strong foot, it let us colonize the planet. So I truly believe wearing a high arch shoe does no good for anybody. Unless you're healing. Like when I was healing my ankle, I had to have very supportive shoes. Very supportive. But now that it's healed, I rarely wear them. So time and a place, but rare. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So what's the question? Crocs. I'm glad you brought that up. I get often asked, what's the best footwear? Crocs are the best. If you're going to be on hard floors all day, Crocs. Because they're cushiony. Again, evolutionarily speaking, this is nonsense. We did not evolve on this nonsense. We evolved on soft ground where our foot molded to the surfaces and was constantly articulating. When you're walking around on this stuff all day, every day, they're nice, soft shoes with a very forgiving arch in it, nothing that's too firm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get upset and angry, yeah. Yeah. That's typical. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, when you're at work on hard floor, wear a nice cushioned shoe. And then when you're not, be barefoot in the forest. He says with a smirk. Yeah, basically you're going to wear a cushioned shoe all the time. Now eventually when you strengthen your feet, I'm being facetious here. So yes, wear Crocs as you're strengthening your feet. But once you have very strong, healthy feet, you can walk around any surface, no problem. But it takes a long time to really build up those muscles and conscious, deliberate effort. Mm-hmm. And most of us, I don't know anybody who grew up in an industrialized world, most of us wore shoes with high arches and closed toe boxes. I guess that's like the cute things. You keep your little baby shoes and look at a little pair of baby shoes. They have arches in them for some reason. Like, why does a baby shoe have a high arch in it? It does not make sense. They're not even walking yet. We've been wearing casts on our feet our whole life. Huge amounts of rehab a lot of time, and once you build up that strength, you'll be fine. A time. Yeah. Yeah. Years and years and years and years. Fine, yeah, go for it. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you're on hard surfaces all day, do what you have to do to get through the day, really. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal, yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, if you're on hard floors all day long, wear what's comfortable. And then when you're not on hard floors and you are at home, it's rehab. It's so strange because if a person were to do the appropriate amount of rehabilitation that I talk about while teaching orthopedic assessment, 6 hours of your day would be spent doing range of motion exercises, strengthening your feet, make sure you do your proper stretching. Like your day would, but quite frankly, we spend 8 hours of our day in dysfunctional behaviors. So it would make sense that we should spend about 6 to 8 hours performing functional activities to try and compensate for the nonsense we do all day. Because that's the reality. Like standing up here on these hard floors, my back hurts, my neck hurts, my feet hurt, and I'm healthy and functional, right? It's just sucky to say, but the amount of time we need to spend doing corrective exercises is massive if we want to maintain proper health and integrity. Yep, you're supposed to eat proper, healthy food. Ideally, Ideally, you grew it and farmed it yourself as well. Let's not forget that. Yeah. Yes, yes. Get plenty of sunshine. Make sure you sleep the appropriate amount. Drink enough water, not too much though. Yeah, God. And when I was making the fourth year class, the advanced TCM classes, it's basically like, I'm going to spend the next 14 weeks telling you why you're terrible. Because you're not doing all of these things. We go through essentially every healthful behavior that you can encourage your clients to perform. And it's ridiculous. You just feel like garbage when you realize all of the things that you should be doing to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, but at the end of it, do your best. That's it. Do your best. Don't give yourself a hard time. If you put any effort in at all, you're doing better than 90% of the population. So, not that we're going to compare ourselves with the 90% of the population, but give yourself some credit. You're doing a lot. Active passive resisted, nothing specifically. Yes, it says possible pain, but remember, anytime you see that word possible, translate it to maybe not reliable. So active passive resisted is not reliable.